Bobby Baz is back with another video, checking out the defensive side of things for Mud 20. We're excited, baby. Database just came out. You know, I've been looking through the cards, and I just want to talk about the top tier at every position. We did one for the offense. Check that out if you haven't already. We'll check this one out. So 81, Jarrell Casey. I think he's a good player. I'll be running the 3-4 this year. I just think that's the best for. But I like to start off with a 3-4 and then kind of go from there. I always just feel like it's better. But I mean, if it's significantly worse, then I'll switch to 4-3. So Casey's definitely a guy I can see myself using alongside Mike Daniels. Just kind of those big guys, big heavy guys that can kind of clog the holes and really get in with the run game and kind of hold up on offensive linemen so my edge rushers can kind of get free. Keem Hicks is another one of those guys that kind of fit that. Brandon Graham, 5'5", he's a bird. 82, you know, he's kind of right up there with the rest of the other DNs in the league. So I got to appreciate that. You know, like I said, he's my boy. I love Brandon Graham. DeMarcus Lawrence, I think so. I think he's better than Brandon Graham. I don't think they should be the same overall. It's not easy coming from a Birds fan, but just being realistic, I think he should be a little bit higher. And then the tandem in LA of Bosa and Ingram, I mean, they're both savages, honestly. The way they both play is disgusting. But I would say they're both also higher than 82s. Cam Jordan, 83. I mean, the Seahorse, I think that's his nickname. I don't know who gave him that, or if it's a self-proclaimed Seahorse. But whatever. So Cam Jordan, 83. That's fair. I mean, he's a dominant player. But see, this is where I'm not buying it. So Myles Garrett, is he great? Yes. 83, okay. Is he better than Bosa? Is he better than Ingram? Is he better than Lawrence? I don't think so. I think he could be. I think he will be. But I think right now that he's not. So I think that's a little silly for him to be an 83. No 84s. We skip right to 85. And Calais Campbell. I think Calais Campbell's right up there with J.J. Watt. I think he's just as good as J.J. Watt's been the past couple of years. I mean, Watt's been so banged up, and when he's played, it's kind of been a no-show. So I think that gap should be a little closer between him and Watt. You know, I'm pretty big on Calais Campbell, another 3-4 guy that I would love to have on my team. He can definitely rush the passer and clog holes. When he was a free agent, I was praying that Philly could somehow snag him. Obviously, they didn't have the money, but kind of had the Super Bowl contending thing going for him. So if they could throw him at D-tackle with, if they could throw him at D-tackle with clock, that would be insane. They got this year going with Malik Jackson, so I'm excited about that. That's not what we're talking about, though. Hunter, okay, you know, 86. Definitely a good player, definitely a beast, but I don't think he's better than Calais Campbell. I don't think he's better than the guys for the Chargers, and I think he's equal to Lawrence. So I'd bring Lawrence up there, maybe drop him down one and bring up Jordan and Campbell, along with Bosa. But a couple of the team builder guys, which I'm super curious about. And then Watt at 87. All right, I'm kind of over the J.J. Watt thing. I don't know if it's just me. He's always banged up, and even when he's playing, like he's playing good. But I don't know, man. Is he great? Sure. You know, he's a good player. But it's all about availability. You can be as good as you want, but you're not on the field, so what do I really care? I'm not going to have him that much better than Calais Campbell. I'm going to drop him down into Calais Campbell's range, kind of. And then Aaron Donald, obviously, is a beast, 88. I think it's the highest base card. He deserves it, obviously. There's no really explaining that. I mean, the things that he does and off of the pass protection that he sees is disgusting. I mean, triple covered and just still blowing guys up. So, I mean, Aaron Donald's definitely a freak of nature. So he deserves that 88. He deserves to be that top dog for sure. No one's arguing that. Next, we'll take a quick look at the D tackles. Another position that's kind of hard to gauge because, you know, you're plugging holes. And you look at someone like Vince Wilfork, he might not make a lot of flashy plays, but I mean, he's arguably one of the best D tackles to ever do it. So, you know, you get in the grit and you get in the slop kind of guys. Buckner is not one of those guys. Buckner's one that he's athletic. If you're running a 4-3, I think Buckner on the 49ers has to be on your team. Just the way he can stop the run and rush the passer at a D tackle spot, I think he's a must-have. Chris Jones is a really good card. They had him at D-end last year. So, I mean, obviously he was a 3-4 D-end. I think he's more of a 4-3 D tackle than he is a 3-4 D tackle. He's good, but I don't think he's big enough and kind of slobby enough to clog that hole. But he also has that team builder, man. That team builder is probably going to be a stud. That's definitely, I'm going to write that down somewhere. That's definitely a card that I'm going to pursue. We had his heavyweight to start the year last year, and that guy was a monster. it's sometimes hard to see difference in your D line. A lot of guys kind of get pushed around. They don't shed blocks. I'm hoping that this year you get rewarded for having kind of top tier D linemen. Kind of just running through it, just a quick look. Snacks Harrison, I think that's his base card, 86. Hey, he's a really good 3-4 guy. He'll plug some holes. But again, it's kind of hard to it's kind of hard to see how good he is, just because when you're in that 3-4 role, D tackle, your job is to take up blocks, not to make plays. So it's kind of hard. And then Fletcher Cox, 87. I think that's a perfect rating. I think he's the best D tackle in the NFL. But I also don't think he's on Aaron Donald's level. So Donald to be better than him, I think, adds up. I think Fletcher Cox is going to have a really good year this year, obviously. I mean, he always does. But I think this year especially, the Birds have a lot of pieces on that D-line. I think he can free up and kind of make some noise. Atkins is another card that's always really good that if you look into certain players to kind of target in this, I would target Atkins, Chris Jones, Buckner in a 4-3, and that's pretty much it. These other guys are kind of interchangeable to me. I've never really used a Kenny Clark card or any of these other guys. But those guys definitely for sure, especially those team builders. That team builder Atkins is probably really good. I had his diamond last year, and he ate at the beginning of the year. So that's definitely somebody you want to focus on. We're going to go ahead and move on to the outside linebackers right now. Outside linebacker is another tricky one to kind of look at because there's 4-3 and 3-4. It's the biggest change for me in play style and linebackers. So for me, running a 3-4 to start this year, someone like Terrell Suggs is a usable card. If you are a 4-3, please do not take Terrell Suggs. If you drop him back in zone coverage, it's going to be ugly. So just like I don't know if you know that or not, but so we'll look at it from a 3-4 standpoint first, just because that's what I'm going off of. Someone like Anthony Barr. We'll get to middle linebacker in a second, but there's not many good middle linebackers this year, so I can see him being my user/middle linebacker. But then someone like Hightower is going to have decent block shedding. Ryan Kerrigan for sure is a perfect 3-4 outside linebacker, especially that team builder, man. There's a lot of these team builders or whatever they're called. I'm going to keep calling them team builders just because I forget what they're called. But these guys, they're these people that they pick are really good guys. Sometimes they give upgrades to cards. I don't want to keep hammering home Cam Newton, but Cam Newton, no matter how good his overall is, he's just bad in Madden. I don't know what it is. But Ryan Kerrigan's always good in Madden. So the idea that he's getting an upgrade early really excites me. But anyway, so that card, and then obviously Khalil Mack and Von Miller are going to be insane. But if you're running a 4-3, I don't think this is why I was thinking 3-4 this year, because I think the outside linebackers are so weak. There's Sean Lee, he's always going to be your 4-3 outside linebacker. And then Vander Esch as well, who's a really talented player, way better than I ever thought he would be, especially coming from Boise State. But then outside of the two Cowboys players, these guys are all 3-4 outside linebackers. Maybe Barr isn't, but the rest of them are, except for Leonard, I guess. But most of them are. Most of them are 3-4 outside linebackers, pass rushers, guys who want to put their knuckles in the dirt and get after the quarterback. So that's primarily why we're going 3-4 to start this year, just because I feel like their talent level at outside linebacker is exclusively in 3-4. If you're running a 4-3, I would just be careful with looking at zone coverages and speed with some of these guys, because they might have a high overall, but what you're going to be making them do, they're not going to have high overalls in. So I'd just be cautious when running a 4-3 this year. Something that I alluded to earlier was the lack of skill at middle linebacker this year. A lot of goals. Most of these positions that we've looked at, we've kind of seen the full 10, 11, 12, whatever screenshot captures have been red, been elite. Middle linebacker is not that case. There's a lot of players that I can't see myself using. If you're looking, I mean, obviously a week into the game, you're going to want to have, if you're playing solos, you're opening packs and whatnot, 3-4 days into the game, you're going to want to have an all-elite squad. So any of these gold guys I'm not really buying. If you are looking for good players, Miles Jack is definitely a good one. But again, for me, I would rather just take Barr and kind of use him just because of his speed. But if you're not a user guy, or if you don't, for some reason, don't want to do out of positions, I'm sure Smith, again, I mean, the Cowboys probably have one of, if not the best, linebacking all-around cores in the league. And Smith's no different. Smith's no fall-off. He's a little bit worse than Vander Esch, but he's better than Sean Lee, I feel like. But C.J. Mosley is going to be too slow for me. Deion Jones is probably a more realistic, well-rounded player. I think honestly, just looking at this, unless you have a ton of money to spend on the game, or you get really lucky with packs, Deion Jones is going to be your middle linebacker. He's got speed, good zone coverage. He can also blitz and kind of get involved in pass rushing. So obviously Kuechly, he's one of the best, but he's been banged up a lot. And then Wagner again with that 88, going with D-Hop, Brady, and I forget the other 88s, but along with the other 88s in the game, Aaron Donald as well. Bobby Wagner, you can't take anything away from him. He's the leader of that defense. He's always in on every play. He's all over the place. He's definitely a great player. But middle linebacker's weak this year, guys. It's ugly. A lot of those goal guys I wouldn't touch, but if I had to touch a goal guy, it would be Miles Jack. If for some reason you hate Miles Jack and you don't want him on the team and you want a second option, Jesus, this is bad. Maybe Jordan Hicks, but outside of Miles Jack, I wouldn't touch anyone. If I had to touch a second one, it would be Jordan Hicks, just because he has a little bit of speed, he's a little bit athletic. But more realistically, I'll have Anthony Barr or Deion Jones starting middle linebacker for me to start this game, just because speed is so scarce to start the game, and receivers have it, but defenders don't. So anytime you can kind of bridge that gap from how much speed opposing receivers have to your defense is a must in my eyes, especially early on in the game. And I think Deion Jones / Anthony Barr, middle linebacker, could do that. We're going to go ahead and get into the corners now. Checking out the corners. Again, the main thing you're going to be having to look for, honestly, early on is speed. No one's going to have crazy man coverage. No one's going to have crazy zone coverage or press or tackle or anything. Everyone's going to be in pretty much the same ballpark. The only issue is going to be speed. So I honestly, to start the year, you got to keep up speed, or else you're going to get beat. You're going to get beat over the top. You're going to get beat mid-range. You're going to get beat on all the facets of the game, honestly. So speed to start the game. There's one Marcus Lattimore in the game. I just saw his stats about 5 minutes ago before I started recording, and his stats look really good. Just off his speed, I think he had 86, 88 speed, which is really good compared to some of the receivers in the game. So I would definitely just focus on speed. Just taking a quick overglance of the overalls. Gilmore really showed out last year. Really put on a show and really made himself way better than I ever thought he would be, honestly. I think these are pretty fair. I think Denzel Ward's a little high. I'm not crazy about him. And then Byron Jones as well. I don't think he's that good. But then like Sherman, Sherman's getting a little bit older, but still got to respect him. Along with Pat Pete. Pat Pete's kind of taking a step back. But again, with these guys, outside of like Ramsey, Slay, and like those top tier guys, you might as well just look for speed. Just so they can get out there, they can kind of keep up with the burners, they can keep up with the Tyreek Hills. I would say the majority of people that you're going to play are going to have Tyreek Hill on their squad, just because of his speed, especially early on. So you want to be able to keep up with that. We're going to go ahead and check out the safeties and check out their speed. All right, on to the safeties. Again, a handful of elites. And strong safety-wise, what I'm looking for is maybe a decent man, just because sometimes I like to drop him down and play a little man, a little press, speed, and hit power. That's all I'm looking for in my strong safeties. Free safety-wise, all I'm looking for is speed and zone coverage. They're going to be the deepest of the deep. They're going to be the guys that you're trying to save you from getting beat over the top. If your corner gets beat, you want your free safety to kind of be able to roam the field and kind of take over for what lets up. Amos last year had that diamond card, and that was really good with the speed and whatnot. Just taking a look at some of these guys, Derwin James I think is a great strong safety to start the year, especially at 81 overall. His price probably won't be too crazy. So if you're kind of a budget baller and you're looking for somebody to drop down in the box and use her, I think Derwin James is a fantastic card for that. Amos' base card is probably a decent card if his speed's right. Tyrann Mathieu, okay. Sometimes he's just because of his stature in the game. If Herman Moore beats your corner, and then he's going against Tyrann Mathieu on a jump ball, that he might get teabagged, and that's not something we want out here. Devin McCourty is always an okay player. Keanu Neal is another great safety, just to kind of set the tone, drop down in the box, and get involved in the run game. Jamal Adams, I think, is going to be another good card, just because of his physicality that he plays with. I'm sure that his strength and everything's good like that. Eddie Jackson's another one, just an athletic player. Malcolm Jenkins, another kind of drop down in the box, kind of get your nose dirty player. And then Earl Thomas is a great roaming free safety, just to prevent you from getting beat over the top, along with Harrison Smith. He's kind of a strong safety that can play that ability. If you're playing a lot of cover 2 and stuff like that, Harrison Smith is a good player for that, just because he can kind of prevent the deep bombs. Michael Hyde, okay, and then Amos again. So that's kind of the defense. I didn't give much of an insight. I feel like I could have went a little bit deeper, but the offensive video went kind of, I felt like, too deep. So we're trying to find our footing. You know what I mean? We're just getting started. We're just trying to rep the brand for now. Getting out some videos. Again, I'm just going to keep hammering this home, guys. So Friday night at 10 o'clock, John and myself will be opening packs live on Twitch twitch.tv/Bobby_Baz. Link will be in the description. We will also be playing solo/draft champions that night. We don't want to get into head-to-heads until we feel like our team's ready, just because we really want to try and compete and just have a good record and kind of get to win a Super Bowl. And if we're going to rush into games with a half team, then we're not going to win games. We're both not good enough. Let's just be honest. We're both pretty bad. And then Saturday at 10 p.m. till Sunday at 10 p.m. we will be live streaming for 24 hours straight. You won't want to miss it. If we hit 150 followers on Twitch, I will shave my beard live on Twitch during that 24-hour stream. So come be a part of it. Come be a part of the experience. I'm telling you guys, I'm a little more free, I feel like, on the Twitch. I can be myself. I can kind of BS a little more. I feel like here I'm too busy walking on eggshells, not trying to say the wrong thing. But on Twitch, I'm kind of myself, and I really don't give it. So that's going to be the end of this video. We took a look at the top defensive cards. I gave you kind of some insight on cards that I think I'm going to be using, and you should as well. Please leave a like, leave a sub, drop a comment. If you lasted till the end, comment pepperoni and cheese. If you watch this whole 17 minutes and 30-second video, comment pepperoni cheese in the comments so I know that you lasted it and that you are a trooper and of man of honor. Thank you guys so much for coming to check out Bobby Baz. Madden 20 is around the corner. Get ready, get hype. Peace.